It's October 2020, and this is the year, this is the Halloween season of the Shout Factory. New Deluxe Edition, Friday the 13th set. All the Friday the 13th movies in one epic set. Of course, I had to get this, of course. I have other box sets, other editions, other versions of the movies, but how can you resist this? This is, just the ultimate temptation for Jason fans, and I am indeed a fan. I always love to talk about these movies on the channel, and sometimes I'll have trouble with copyright and have to upload, re-upload, all that stuff. Maybe I'll get lucky this year in talking about it, but it's just the perfect time to do a Friday the 13th marathon, which is what I've done. And in going through this set, it's an exquisite set. It truly is. Uh, Lots of new stuff, lots of new special features, and when it comes to the picture quality, uh, the first four, at the very least, they have new transfers, which look quite nice. So there's a lot to make it worth the double dipping, I guess. But it all started with the original, the 1980 original, Friday the 13th. Who could forget this movie? Who could forget one of the earlier scenes with the counselor, the cook, on her way to the camp? A young girl brimming with youthful enthusiasm, with a bright future ahead of her, crying in fear, begging for her life, and getting her throat slashed. And while we all sat there thinking, is that what it would really look like? I think we have this, strange curiosity about death, particularly gruesome murders. It's just this fascinating, unnatural thing. It's something we can't really look away from when it's in our sight. Just look at any given day with what's covered on the news. Maybe it reminds us that we're alive. Maybe it gives us a cheap thrill. I don't know. But particularly when we're watching in a movie, we do have the advantage of being far, far removed from the actual reality of it, I guess. Perhaps fulfilling some kind of sick primal need to witness death and violence, I guess. I don't know. But when it comes to something like Friday the 13th and movies like it, it's pretty much become a completely normal, completely acceptable form of entertainment. But that's the key, I think. We are aware that we're watching a movie. We know it's fake, and that's the Tom Savini magic, baby. That's what it's all about. It's the innovative special makeup effects and gore. That's the key part into why this movie is so entertaining and so fun. His work is pretty convincing, despite some of the cuts that they made and toning it down a little bit to get it an R rating, though there is the unrated cut, of course. All of this effects, it still holds up today. And watching Friday the 13th and bearing witness to the way Sean S. Cunningham plays out his scenes with the young victims, knowing they may or may not meet terrible fates at any moment, and getting the titillating payoff of Savini's shocking effects, is like sitting through this gruesome magic show. That's what it is. It's a magic show. It's quite incredible. Unlike the scenes we've seen in the sequels to follow, most of the murders are shown through the point of view of the killer, which I think, at least in the case of this film, I would say it's an effective choice. Some of these moments even fade to white, and that's an interesting visual to accompany these moments where the young victims meet their death, almost as if we're seeing, the white light that supposedly people see in their dying moments, right? So I do think it's fair enough that they abandoned this visual in the next movies, and it works well with the original film and in parts with the second film as well. We see it show up there, and of course, doing it this way, it does hide the identity of the killer quite nicely. But yeah, I can't imagine sitting through close to a dozen sequels all showing the killings from the point of view shot. So the series evolved as it was needed, and for what it's worth, it's a unique element, and it's distinct to a point to the 1980 original, and makes it stand out. I don't think anyone could have anticipated that Friday the 13th would become one of the most popular franchises of all time, not just horror franchises, any franchises, and that Jason Voorhees would become such an icon in the horror genre. But I I suppose it's worth mentioning that many fail to remember, usually non fans, casual viewers, that of course Jason is not the killer in this film, but it's his mother, Pamela Voorhees, who's who's the one doing this slashing and cutting up all those sex crazed teens. That's Betsy Palmer playing the character. She makes for a wonderful murderous maniac in this installment. She's a psychotic old woman, bent on revenge on basically any Crystal Lake counselor because she was just so distraught over Jason's death all those decades ago, having drowned due to the neglect of the counselors. They were out having sex, not paying attention. So I mean, by right, they should have been watching him. They should have known, but instead they're out making whoopee. So Pamela's out to get these kids. They want to, or she wants to make them pay for their sins in the worst possible way. And with that, she seems to have this kind of a split personality somewhere in her mind. There's still this little boy that lives, and it's urging him. It's urging his mother to kill, and even her voice kind of changes in the later scenes of the film, going "Kill her, mommy, kill her," which is really cool and really creepy. If you're looking for like really in-depth character development, you're not going to find much of it here. It's a dead teenager movie. We get much of the stock characters you'd expect from it. They're young, dumb kids. They joke around, they drink a little, they smoke some grass, have some sex, and get killed. And we get to see Kevin Bacon, of course, in an earlier role. He gets stabbed through the neck with an arrow, so there's that. One character that really spruces the movie up, though, is crazy old Ralph. His scenes are pretty good. He just kind of randomly shows up out of nowhere, warning the kids about the death curse, and he's a vivid character, I guess. You can practically smell the booze on his breath. When it does come to the survivor, the last girl, as it's put, Alice, I wouldn't say there's anything too unique or special about the character. In the last act, she does the typical running and screaming and hiding and uncovering the dead bodies in an impossible set of circumstances that cause them to pop up and give her a scare at exactly the right moment. She's nothing like completely unique, but she's all right, and she, to her credit, she knows how to handle a machete. That's good enough, I would say. And in the movie, it's a classic. Is it perfect? No, not really. It's entertaining. It's well paced for the most part. But watching it again this year, and I guess every time I watch it, it kind of occurs to me that, hey, this movie's kind of going by really fast. Everybody's dead, and it's only Alice left. So there's only like what 10 minutes left of the movie. No, it's like practically like a half hour of just Alice running around, and the whole final fight with Mrs. Voorhees and her getting decapitated and all that, which is incredibly satisfying, undeniably so. Once more, feeding into the curiosity and the sick need for bloodlust we all seem to have lurking within us to one degree or another. Funny though, isn't it, how the most shocking and memorable moment comes from the final scene where the deformed Jason leaps out of the water, grabbing the poor girl to her fate, and it has nothing to do with any kind of blood splatter or killing. It's a very simple effect, so it is funny that that's the most memorable and shocking scene of the film. So it has the power to scare and to shock, but it's not necessarily just gruesome, bloody entertainment. It does have the effect of scares where it counts. And here we are, 40 years later. We're celebrating the 40th anniversary of Friday the 13th, and it still has that power. It still has that power to shock and to scare. And I guess the gruesome bloody effects, as censors as they may have been, are still incredible to behold. Still, still an iconic film. Still the one that started it all. And Sean S. Cunningham, Tom Savini, we thank you for this incredible series that came of it. So that's my review, Friday the 13th. Check it out if you haven't already. If you're unaware of this movie, definitely check it out. If you're a fan, if you don't mind doing the double dipping, if you got the extra cash, definitely check out the new box set. It's definitely worth going one more time to that double dip, multiple bites of the apple. I guess you could say it's worth it. It's a fabulous set. It really is. So we're doing 31 Days of Horror on the channel, reviewing horror movies every day this month in October. So I hope you'll stick around with me, watch some more. Be sure to stay tuned for more and comment, rate, subscribe, all that good stuff. Let me know your favorite Friday the 13th movie below. Stay scared, and until next time, I'll see you later.